have had news, not an official bid, but rumours that Real Madrid are interested in Bruno Fernandes for £90 million.
Oh, interesting.
Now, just to give some context on Bruno Fernandes for those that aren't Manchester United fans, this season he's played 45 games, scored 16 goals and 16 assists, so 32 goal involvements in 45 games.
Okay.
He's played a total of 278 games for Man United, 95 goals, 82 assists.
It's good numbers for a midfielder.
Yeah, what I wanted to say is, would you take it as a not really a pseudo Man United fan? I know, but would what do you think? Because he turns 31 in July. Bear in mind.
I have always, well, since Bruno first came, I know that his numbers in the first year were incredible. But the problem was they were all kind of like something out of his 30 odd goals, whatever it was that he scored or was involved in, something like 16 or 18 were penalties. No, I'm sorry, but there are so many more players available for less money that can put a penalty away. So, other than the fact, obviously, I know that he is heavily influencing results, goals and assists. I'm not disputing that. I do not understand how any team in the world could make a player like that their captain. A captain has to lead by example. The amount of times he throws a wobbly and he's just flinging his hands up in the air, whinging. I mean, you didn't see that from Roy Keane. I mean, granted, he'd shout at a ref and he'd kick off and stuff, but he led by example the whole way through. And I think we've even had some captains since then that are better captains, not better players. Like, Bruno's a fucking incredible player. I'm never going against that argument. Although, he does lose possession a lot for Man United. People don't like saying it, but he tries all these flicks and touches, sometimes in the right area, final third of the pitch, but quite often he's doing it at halfway lines. And okay, I don't know how many times it's led to us conceding or United conceding, but fundamentally, he's a great player. He's been an asset to the club, don't dispute it. I would rather take the cash for him. And it's hard to say there's another midfielder out there that's going to replace that, or that would even want to come to United at the moment. Without him being there as the influence for goals and assists and stuff, I don't know what you're going to draw in. Because we can't keep going down this old centre mid route with the Casemiros, the Ericssons. Like, you can't just go putting in, say, Modric, for example, although it'd be a hell of an improvement on what we currently got. He's got 2 years left. So you've really got to be careful with who you'd go for. If I owned United in this situation, and I had the choice of, like, Bruno's leaving, what kind of deal do I want to create? I'd do a swap. I'd do a swap for Tchouaméni or for Camavinga. Not a direct swap. I'd want also 30 million, right? That, in my head, because obviously the Tchouaméni and Camavingas, they are investments for clubs because they've got another 10, 12 years on their careers. Bruno, 5-6 years. I get it. But if you can negotiate that deal, you get 30 million in the bank, you've got a new player that is going to only grow with the club. That's the kind of thing that United need to try and do if they're going to alleviate him and get rid of Bruno. You've got to bring in talent, and you've got to bring in talent that can stay there for 6 years. So that would be my thinking.
I mean, swap deals are never going to happen because they don't impact the FFP enough. No. So what it would be is a full sale and then a full sale, because Bruno's been there long enough that the amortisation of his transfer from Sporting is now paid off. Yeah. So effectively, anything they get for him is pure profit now. So it would make no financial sense to do a swap deal, but I see your point.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. I would take the money. I think it's time for fundamental change. I don't think any Man United fans are really under the illusion that that's not the case, which is why I'm shocked by these stories that Mainu or Garnacho could be sold. Yeah. I think that they're not the answer, but they're certainly not the problem. I think, Ruben Amorim's done well in sort of setting the precedent with Rashford. Rashford, he's not a scapegoat, but he's the example.
Yeah.
It's a case of my way or the highway. You work hard or you fuck off. I think that's brilliant because I think they're the standards that haven't been set or haven't been implemented. They may well have been tried to be set by previous managers, but I think the players had far too much power and say in what went on, that sort of mob mentality. So yes, I would certainly take the 90 million because I think realistically the likelihood is that Real Madrid would pay most of that up front, whereas Man United have to pay over so many years, a bit like Chelsea have been doing. They'll have to do that because they're so cash poor. But I could see some of the players that are coming from, that are rumoured to be coming to Man United from lower down the Premier League teams, such as like Cunha from Wolves, Liam Delap from Ipswich.
Is Cunha a possibility? Is he?
Possibility.
Oh, I'd love.
He's
to
got
see
a lot of interest, but
I'd love to have him there.
I think he would suit the system very, very well. Some of these sorts of players that are, Semenyo from Bournemouth has been mentioned as well.
Is it?
But then Bournemouth came out and said they want 70 million, so they can fuck off.
They'll get that.
They won't. These sorts of teams are the ones that are going to take an amortised deal where it's paid. So if it's a £50 million deal for Cunha, say, they'll pay 10 million a year.
Yeah.
Whereas these ones where you're looking at sort of release clauses and things like that, most of them are wanting to be paid up front, which Man United can't do. That's why they ended up paying a little bit more for Xerxes, so they paid 36 rather than the 33 that was his release clause, because they can pay the 36 over 3 years.
Right.
So they pay 12 a year rather than 33 up front, which they couldn't afford to do.
Interesting.
So I think those lower league teams that are going to want that longevity of income, basically if they go down, Ipswich are probably going to go down. Southampton with Dibbling, for example, they're going to go down. They're more likely to take these deals. Whereas if you're trying to buy a Tchouaméni or a Camavinga, Real Madrid don't give a shit if you're giving them 10 million a year for 10 years. Do you know what I mean? Not that it would be that long, but they're going to want the money now, and it won't happen. Man United can't afford it because they need the money long term from the sales, but also they need to pay across a period of time. So, yeah, I mean, Bruno is the sort of player. I mean, given the choice, I wouldn't sell him. But when you compare it to selling Mainu and Garnacho or him, it's him. He's basically 31. You've got 3 years of him probably at top class, and then he'll start to deteriorate because he's never really relied on pace. So,
no. Very true.
Yeah. So yes, in short, yes, I would also take that deal, and I think that's pretty much the consensus I've been hearing from Man United fans is Bruno, we love you, but sorry, it's 90 million quid.
Ta-ta for now.
Yeah.